was underweight. Like I was probably like 170, 180, like hella skinny. But I wasn't doing any physical activities. I hurt my shoulder and all this stuff. So I was just like...
Hurting your shoulder is always a key to get fat. Last year I tore a muscle in my shoulder. Oh, it hasn't been the same ever since.
Out in the streets, they call it
Uncut Jams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another episode of Uncut Jams. I'm your host, James Cummins. And today we are back with no guest. Back to the basics. Back on the ground level. Back like we never left. It's just me and the producer, Dante. What's up, Dante?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. It was freezing rain today. And that was crazy. It was like heavy freezing rain. That's when the day that we're recording today is freezing rain day. That's why we have no guests. No one was brave enough to come out in the freezing rain.
Yeah. No one takes the pod that's serious, you know? Out here trying to drive in these conditions.
Yeah, no, it's a tough. It's not like this isn't going to be your big break just yet. You know what I mean?
You never know, dude.
We could go viral.
We have.
Not really.
Not super viral, but I mean, some things have happened.
Good things are happening. Oh, yeah. Good things are happening every day. Praise God. God's out early and often. You know what I mean? Doing his thing. I tried a little new content thing today. So I was at home. I'm like, I didn't have to work. I'm not going to lie. I wasted most of the day. But then I was like, let me go do something content related. Let me go try and make a hit. I'm like, it's freezing rain outside. Let me just go for a walk in the freezing rain and see what that's like. And the idea was, I'm like, I'm going to go smoke a spliff and drink a beer in the rain. Like the idea of the video is I go, hey, you know, a lot of people said it wasn't possible, but can you smoke a spliff and drink a beer in the rain? And then I just started smoking a spliff and drinking a beer in the rain. And I'm like talking to the camera. And it was not a hit. I don't think it's going to be a hit. But it was funny because as I'm like actually like having the breakdown while filming it, being like, imagine this is what works. I become the guy that smokes a spliff and drinks a beer in the rain, and then I got to do that all the time.
Yeah, what if it doesn't rain? You're fucked.
Oh.
You got to move to Portland or some shit.
Or it's like, I'm the guy that can you smoke a spliff and drink a beer there? Can you smoke and drink there? Is really the question that we're asking.
Okay.
Can you smoke and drink there? Freezing rain. Can you smoke and drink there? Today I proved yes, you can, but it's not good. It was miserable, to be honest. I was freezing.
True. I forgot what it is cold.
It was cold. I didn't have gloves on. Both my thumbs were like ice at the end. I wore Crocs, no socks, because I was like, I don't want to get my socks soaked. So I think that was the right move, but my feet were dying at the end. And at one point, I just stepped in a full-on like foot deep puddle. I mean, like I went ankles deep on it, and that felt like, was this worth it? Could this possibly be worth it? Could I have made a hit? I don't think so.
Yeah,
but we're out there trying stuff.
Yeah, when I used to smoke weed, I was out there, rain, sun, snow, roll up and then go for a walk.
Oh yeah.
You know,
smoking, when you smoke weed and cigarette smokers too, I assume, you will go outside in the worst weather to smoke.
Yeah, but like aside from my hands being cold, like I don't mind this, you know, like it's not that bad for me to not smoke, you know.
Yeah, no. I've gone through some miserable like high winds, blowing snow. And it's deadly out there, and then it's a miserable smoke. But then when you get inside, the high hits you because you don't really feel the high while you're just getting through it.
Yeah, when you're fighting that cold.
You're fighting the cold off so much that your body's like, I can't relax to be high right now. But then when you get inside, your body's like, oh man, and then you feel nice.
Yeah,
I remember one of the first times I ever smoked weed in high school on a winter day. We smoked at lunch, and then I went. My next class was drama class. And the high was like hitting in drama. Like I was like, not first of all, it was one of my first highs ever, so like that's gonna already hit you hard. But then the initial from cold to warmth high too, and at high school. So I thought I was just staying quiet, head down, getting through class, and then all of a sudden I hear my teacher go, James, look at me, and I was like, I was shook looking at her, and she's just like, you need to enunciate, and I was like, I didn't even know I said anything. So I could have just possibly been high mumbling something. I don't know what the hell. But I do need to enunciate. And that's something that she told me in it was grade 9 or grade 10. And I still need to enunciate. I went to radio broadcasting, still didn't learn how to enunciate.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like when you're speaking, it's still clear. You know what I mean? Especially like when you're on stage or when you're DJing, you're doing your DJ voice. Like, I never heard your DJ voice, but I would assume.
Now, coming to the stage, you can look but don't touch.
It's clear enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just my own worst critic, but when I hear myself, sometimes I'm like, yo, fucking take that whatever you got in your mouth. I was going to say take that dick out of your mouth when you're talking. Pause. But it's like, why is your mouth full right now? Why are you slurring your speech? But maybe I'm just hard on myself. Also, pause. Actually, it's not gay to be hard on yourself. Is it? But it kind of is because you're a guy. So to be hard on, if you like look in the mirror and you're like, oh man, I look so good right now that I'm hard. Like that is a little bit gay.
Okay. Yeah. That way it's kind of, I mean, yeah, but also, I don't know.
But also like you should be able to believe in yourself as much as you want.
Yeah. Is it gay to believe in yourself?
Put that on a t-shirt. Is it gay to believe in yourself? A little bit. A little bit. Like, I don't know. I honestly never believed in myself, so I cannot. I believe in myself a little bit, and as far as loving yourself, I remember when I was in first year university, like I've never been a hot boy, but I don't know. I used to think I was a little bit of a hot boy. You know what I mean? I was cute enough. Let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real bad man.
What a gay conversation we're having right now. But all I'm saying is when I would look in the mirror, I would like what I see. That doesn't happen all the time now.
Yeah.
Now that I've fucking put on 30 pounds or whatever. But maybe I can get back down and start loving myself again. Being fat is a problem. If you're fat, you should stop it. Like, take it from me, a fat guy. I'm wearing a big white sweater right now. I feel like I probably look like a giant marshmallow or a Stay Puft Man. Like, I feel like I'm big, yo. Check me out on YouTube if you're listening.
Because I used to be a lot skinnier before, right? And I think it was like 2 days ago. I got a really nice compliment. Someone bumped into me and like, dude, I thought you were the mic stand. I'm like, thank you, dude. You thought I was that skinny? Like, you thought I was the mic stand?
That's wild.
But yeah.
That's wild. You're definitely not that skinny. You'd be a fucking thick ass mic stand, yo.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you thought I was the mic stand? That's crazy. Thank you.
What I was saying about being gaily in love with yourself is when I did feel good about myself. I still feel kind of good. I'm not trying to make this sad, but back when I felt like too good about myself, before I've been humbled by life's realness, I would be smoking. I would smoke a little spliff in the shower on res and drink. To have like maybe a couple shots while I'm in the shower. I'd get out of the shower. I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd blow myself a kiss.
You're kind of teetering there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I haven't done that I haven't blown myself a kiss in 16 years. Pause. Oh man. Yeah, maybe more. No, yeah, I think that was a good guess. 16 years. We're not good at math around here, but yeah. I just think like all this time we've been making fat people feel like it's okay to be fat. It's like we should just be a little bit more mean to our fat friends.
Yeah.
Like when I started comedy, I definitely got fatter, right? Because I used to work at a gym for one, so like I was in decent shape. But then like also hanging around with friends that play sports all the time.
Yes.
And hanging around with friends that will shame me for getting fat. Now you don't see them for half the year. You show up fucking 15 pounds heavier and they're like, yo, what the fuck? Look at this thing. And And then time just goes by, and all of a sudden you're fat. That's what happened to me.
Yeah, I feel that.
Anyways, so yeah, check on your fat friends.
Tell them to not be fat.
Tell them to
anymore.
not be fat. Like, I have friends that definitely like will be like, come on, get it together. One of my friend that passed away, I have a tattoo on my bicep to remind me of him because he would always be like, grab your arm, like, you know what I mean? What, you're not working out. You're so weak right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a good reminder. But honestly, sorry, Frenchie, I'm letting you down right now because I need to get swole.
You still have time, dude.
Oh, I have time. This summer, check out 3 episodes later. Watch how Jack. Okay, no.
3 episodes.
3 episodes later, I'm gonna be huge, yo. Because check this out. So today is April 2nd. We're recording this April 2nd.
Yes.
We'll let you peek behind the curtain, guys. It'll get released on April 6th, something like that.
8th.
April 8th.
Because 7 days.
We'll get it's
9.
6 days.
I know.
Okay.
So 6 plus 2 is 8.
There we go. That's math, baby. 6 plus 2 is 8. We've done it again. Okay, so yeah, it gets released on the 8th.
Yes.
But then the episode that will be 3 episodes later will give me pretty much 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days.
30-day challenge.
30 days.
30-day podcast challenge.
30-day podcast challenge. I'm going to do 3 episodes from now, which will be episode 16.
Yes.
Austin 316 says I just whooped your ass. I'll do that episode in a wife beater just to fucking show how swole I got in 3 weeks.
They say setting like an actual number goal would help. Is there like a specific weight number or like strength number that you'd want to get to?
What is a strength number? Let's start there. What would a strength number be?
Well, I don't know. Like what are
Like-
you
like how
benching?
mu-
What
how
are you
mu-
curling? Like
Oh,
things
okay,
like
okay.
that. Like, or is it like strictly aesthetics? Because you could just starve yourself for 3 weeks and be like, yeah, guys, I did it.
No, it has. I'm trying to get muscle. I'm not trying to be just skinnier.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's just aesthetically. I think aesthetically, I don't know what I would say. No, you want me to put a number out there? I don't even know what the number is right now that I'm like pushing against.
Okay.
So, I'll come back with the number next week.
Okay.
But either way, the challenge is going 3 episodes from now. I got to be fucking ripped, or I'm gonna look stupid in my.
Or just better in a wife beater.
I gotta look great in a wife beater. Yeah, true. Because people don't even know where it's starting from.
Yeah.
I don't have a wife beater on right now.
No, but
I
you
have a
only
giant
you
swing.
know. So this is a challenge for yourself.
I'll take a before picture. I'll take a before picture. We'll insert it here.
Yeah.
No, we'll insert it. We'll see how 3 weeks from now go,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back to this.
Yeah. Maybe this episode might never come out.
We gotta erase it. Yeah, you need to work towards something because I remember beginning of last year, we did a weight loss challenge. Me, Dave, Luca, Giga Thiga, all have been guests on this show. Michelle Dorian and Steve Appleyard. There was 5. I think there might have been one other person in it, or that might have been it. But anyways, we all put in $100. Winner takes the whole pot.
Ooh,
Whoever
neat.
can lose the most weight. And Dave won by
Really?
like 2 pounds. And Dave has got even skinnier since.
Okay.
So, shout out my boy Dave keeping those LBs off. Me, I lost 25 pounds to start the year. I put all of it back on, plus probably like 5 more.
When you did the challenge?
When I did the challenge. I did the challenge last year. No, I didn't put all of it back on. Okay, so I started off the year. I started off 2024 at 220 pounds or something like that. And I got down to 195.
Okay.
And now I'm probably like 215.
Okay.
So let's say in 3 weeks, I think, honestly, if I tried, I think 200 pounds is reasonable.
Yeah, I think 200 pounds is a good like maintain weight.
Yeah.
You know, if you're able, because I think also like I'm one of those people that like I fluctuate. Like I can drop down a lot, but then I can also go up a lot. But I think like a solid 200 is like a nice maintain weight.
You know what they say? Like, what do you call a guy that weighs less than 200 pounds?
Yes, I do know. A victim.
Whoa. We have different versions of that joke. I heard a girl. That's crazy, yo.
Real bad man.
A victim, damn.
Yeah, that's because I watch a lot of
Gay porn.
no, like like bodybuilding stuff and like training videos and stuff. So like a lot of the intense people, they're like, if you're under 200 pounds, that's victim weight. You gotta get your weight up, son. You're weak.
So should I just be huge? Should I just get huge? Let me know in the comment section. Should I get massive and just fucking roid out? Or should I just get to honestly, at my height, my weight is obese. I've looked into it. And that's so crazy. Like, I'm an obese person.
Yeah, but
I don't feel like it.
I would also be considered an obese person for my weight. So
that's right.
I gotta drop some obese too.
It's crazy out there, yo. You're obese too?
I would say so.
What height are you?
I'm like 5'10".
And what weight are you?
Probably like 230.
Can you Google it? Because I know I've looked up my height, weight, and it says you are obese.
So what do I look up? Height,
You
weight?
need to fucking height and weight, calculating obesity. If you're playing at home, guys, you can Google your height and weight and find out if you're obese.
Okay, height, weight, obesity calculator. I don't want to see like the percentage of how obese I am. Like I don't want to be like you're like 80% obese or something like that. Okay.
You're 80% obese.
Not me. I don't want to put the numbers in. It's like you're dead.
Yeah. You're
5'10". Say 230. I feel like I was 230 the last time.
I can get a scale.
Yeah, no, I'm in the obese category.
Obese.
Yeah.
This is the 100% obese podcast right now. This might be the fattest podcast that you're listening to today. There's a couple obese podcasts. I think like the guys from Are You Garbage, shout out that show, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys are some big boys.
That's the biggest podcast on the internet.
Is it actually the biggest?
No, I'm just making a joke.
But it is big.
It
is big and they're big. I'm trying to think who else is a couple fat guys doing a podcast. But I don't look at you and see fat.
I know.
Now here's the harsh reality. Do you look at me and see fat?
Not really, because when you said you're 220,
you, God.
like, I'm like, okay, like 220 is lower than me. So like I'm like, okay, I'm 230.
Maybe
I'm
you're
heavier
taller than me.
Yeah. But I know like a lot of it's in my legs.
That's what I got too. I got big legitis. No, it's good to have big legs. I played soccer most of my life, so
yeah,
my legs are big from that. And when I was in good shape, I would always weigh more than like a guy should my height. Mm-hmm. Like even I would say my peak physical condition in my life, I was probably like 175.
Okay,
so that's like me, like with muscles. Mm-hmm. Picture it in your head, everyone. Close your eyes.
Yeah,
stop jerking off. But ladies, feel free to touch your pussy. Yeah, so that's I got to get back down to a reasonable fighting weight. You know what I mean? If I got it, if the world
wait, how tall are you?
If I stand up my straightest,
no, if you stand up your gayest.
If I stand up my gayest, 5'7". If I really put all my effort into it, 5'8".
5'8".
But like you put me up against the wall barefoot.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best posture.
Yeah,
I'll just be a scratch over 5'7".
5'7".
I can confidently say that just in case, sometimes they go, let me check your height.
Yeah.
They don't actually do that, but like it's a fear in my head that it could happen one day where someone goes, let me check then.
Yeah,
let me see. So I was like, all right, I can put money on it, and I would. That 5'7",
5'7",
no problem. But
okay.
But if I'm wearing shoes and I stand up straight, 5'8", let's go.
Yeah. I compare like a lot to like UFC weight classes, right? And I'm like, okay, if I were fighting in the UFC, what weight class would I fight in? Because right now, I'd have to be in the heavyweight division.
Yeah,
but like then I think,
oh my God,
I know, that's crazy.
So for me, my weight class should be at my height. I've been talking not into the mic the whole time.
No, it's been fine.
My weight class should be probably like 160.
Yeah, you would.
If I was
you
like,
would have to be a 155er.
So like for me to get cut.
Well, that's a death's door. Keep in mind when they weigh in, they're basically dead. Like they're like 2 seconds away from dying when they're weighing in.
Yeah.
So anywhere from like 155 to 170.
Man, I remember because I used to know how to cut weight because I would wrestle, right?
Okay.
And like dropping like 10 pounds in a day, just water weight, just putting a garbage bag on, running hills, sweating up a storm, sitting in a sauna, rotating that back and forth, and losing 10 pounds in like 6 hours or whatever. You know what I mean? But when I did that weight loss challenge, I did the same thing. I water fasted the whole day, ran hills.
So you just tried to cut it at like the last day?
I lost.
You lost like 5 pounds and then you tried to weight cut the last.
I lost 20.
Okay.
Probably like 22, 23. And I was trying to cut a next 10. I'd be like, let me cut a next 10.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I was like, let me try, because I ended up losing by a pound. Anyways, I lost like 2 or 3 pounds that day. I thought I could cut more on the day of, but I couldn't.
Yeah. You
Took water pills. I did every lie, cheat, and steal way. Shout out Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Lie, cheat, and steal. Latino heat. Yeah, man. I tried to, but it didn't work. Didn't work. I was so pissed after.
But yeah, no. I think for me, because also I did, so like I said, like 2-3 years ago, I was underweight. Like I was probably like 170, 180, like hella skinny. But I wasn't doing any physical activities. I hurt my shoulder and all this stuff. So I was just like...
Hurting your shoulder is always a key to get fat. Last year I tore a muscle in my shoulder. Oh, it hasn't been the same ever since.
No. I tore my shoulder and then I got skinny.
What?
Yeah, because I was working in IT and I only like ate like once a day.
Okay.
So like I lost so much weight.
So you lost weight just because you weren't eating a lot?
Yeah.
But what does working in IT have to do with that? I
didn't have to eat a lot. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything.
True. But I mean, there's days where I don't move and I eat a lot.
Well, I also like work schedule. I don't know. But anyways, I was eating like one meal for the whole day, sit in front of a computer, So then I got really skinny. But then I got so skinny, like I had like no muscle mass. So then one day I just go to lift up my arm. Boom. I get a partial tear in my shoulder. So then I had to do like a rehab, all that stuff. And I had to start like working out again. But I had no muscles. Like I was so weak. And this is like, I used to play a lot of sports too. Right. So I'm like, okay, now what I need to do is put on weight and then turn that into muscle. So now I'm at the stage where I think I've put on a decent amount of weight.
Right.
And then I'm just going to convert that all into muscle and strength. That's the plan.
Good luck, man. I hope it all works out for you, yo. I've been working on that plan for years, yo. But man, yeah, first of all, I got to fucking figure out what's going on with my shoulder. I tore a muscle in my shoulder last year, and I thought it would just go away. It never went away.
No, because you use your shoulder way more than you think.
Yeah. So I need to fucking do some physio or something. Get that sorted out. But yeah, there's so many people like that get a little injury and then they get fat after. So
yeah,
that's a real fucking hell's gate right there.
Torn shoulder. Yeah,
this is definitely the arm's gonna fall off again. And this time, I don't know. I did tie it on tightly, but I think like if you rotate it, it just starts falling off.
And it's gone.
It's gone. But we've been here before. We know how it goes. But I have to undo it, right?
Kinda. If you want, you could take my mic and then.
All right, let's trade. I was just thinking we've been in this situation so many times, and it's like that guy on Instagram that he'll take a shot in like a net that has a spike on it, and he pops the ball on the first time, but the next time he gets it in, and he says, "I understand it now. I understand it now." Lethal shooter. Shout out the lethal shooter. Yeah, you learn, and then you just kill it after that. See, I've seen that guy do some crazy things, like shooting it from the top of a waterfall down to a net, like that's like 700 meters away. Misses it by 300 feet on the first try, but then he understands on the second try, and he hits like 7 in a row.
Those are also the 2 takes that we see. As a video editor,
If you want to ruin the magic, sure.
the
People
magic's
say
been ruined.
People say Cheaters was fake too, and that breaks my heart.
Cheaters?
Cheaters was a show that was on Fox. It would play at like midnight on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
And it was like there's this guy, Joey Greco. He was the original host, and he would catch people cheating. So they would bring it on like, this is Amber. She has a boyfriend named Eric. And they'd do a little fucking background, and then they're following him around. They have like a private eye. Like it looks all real, like low budget, just like little camcorders. Oh, I saw him going in and out of this girl's house, giving her a hug goodbye, smack on the ass. What's that about, you know?
Yeah.
And then they go confront them at the end. And there was one time where Joey Greco got stabbed. There was one time where somebody pulled a gun on him. Like it all seemed very real to me, like cops kind of thing, like that kind of like film like that. But then I heard it was fake, and it breaks my heart to know it was fake because I like that show. Like I thought it was real, and I was very invested in it.
Well, here's because imagine they follow somebody, they invest all these resources for an episode,
Yeah.
and no cheater. You know what I mean? How many episodes are put in the trash because they're like, yeah, we followed this guy for 3 weeks. He really been going to the gym after work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
there was no happy endings on Cheaters. There was a spoiler alert. If you watch an episode of Cheaters, they're getting cheated on.
Yeah.
It's never like, it never ends up being like, oh, by the way, yeah, no, he's actually a good guy. You were wrong. You're overreacting. And then they just show her being like, I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
You know, or him. But there was some crazy stuff on that show, and I just wish it was real. Google wasn't real because I remember hearing it was
Cheaters real?
people told me that it was fake, and I don't know if they were just saying that to fuck with me, you know? But that show, I remember there was one episode where a guy honestly kicked in a car window and then knocked his girl out. And that was fucked up.
Some reports suggest that certain moments were staged or that actors were paid to appear, making it part real and part fake.
Okay. Imagine you're not cheating on your girl and then they just hire a temptress to come get you, to come seduce you to get you to fuck her just so they can get an episode out of it. They're like, oh, this guy's not cheating. He has nothing going on.
Yeah.
All right, we got to send in one of the fucking hired guns. Get it done for us. Joey Greco was a great host. Then they re-hosted. They got a new guy to host it. That was Clark. His name was Clark Gable, and he was a shit host. And I think he ended up killing himself. And I think people hated him, and they sent him a lot of like.
Yeah, February 22nd, 2019.
He killed himself. Did he?
Doesn't say.
Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, R.I.P. that guy, even though he was a shit host of Cheaters. It's sad whenever somebody kills themselves.
Oh,
but
no. It says he had accidentally overdosed on illicit fentanyl, oxycodone, and alprazolam.
He died of having too much fun.
Yep.
Went too far. I'm glad it wasn't Joey Greco, but at the same time, R.I.P. Clark Gable. And then they replaced him with the new host. I've seen a clip online that was like, it was a rapper. I forget who. Peter Guns, maybe? Peter Guns?
Peter Guns.
And when he caught somebody cheating, they go, what the hell? You cheat on your girl. And he's like, I know, but I don't do that anymore. You know? What the hell? Peter Guns? You cheat.
This was all in Texas?
Is it all in Texas? Is Cheaters all filmed in Texas?
Everyone that showed up is, this is Texas.
I did not know that.
Oh, well, hold on.
I thought Cheaters was
Joey
nationwide.
Greco, New York guy. Peter Guns, yes.
Also a New York guy.
He is a New York guy.
But where was the show filmed? It was all over America, right?
I guess so.
That's the way they made it seem to me.
Yeah.
The saddest thing, now I don't know what's real and what's fake, but I remember there was one episode. Okay, so I know it's controversial, hot take, but when a guy gets cheated on.
Hold on. Update. The show was created by Bobby Goldstein, an attorney in Dallas, Texas.
So it's created by a lawyer in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. We can't trust lawyers.
True. True. There was one episode where a guy got cheated on, catches his girl cheating on him, tries to fight the guy she cheated on him with, and he got knocked out.
It's over.
That's a ick, yo. That's a ick all around, yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. Getting cheated on sucks, obviously. Like, that would hurt. But, like, following it up by getting knocked out by the guy she's fucking. Oh. If you get cheated on and you want to fight the guy, you got to know how to fight. You got to know how to fight.
Most people don't know how to fight.
I know.
Which is wild.
But then, okay, so I guess you don't need to know how to fight. You just have to hope that guy needs to not know how to fight less than you.
Chances are he doesn't know how to fight.
Yeah.
But then again, two people that don't know how to fight, it cancels out not knowing how to fight.
You go.
And then it's equally as dangerous.
You go.
You can knock. I follow a lot of like fight subreddits. I've seen people try to go for like a head kick. Their own leg slips out from underneath them. They knock their head off the concrete out cold.
Brutal. Yeah. You go to try and fight a guy that's fucking your girl, and he gets in a boxing stance, and you're like, fuck, yo. Shit, man. I was just hoping I could be a guy that I could give an easy ass whooping to.
Me personally, I wouldn't even fight the guy.
What would you do?
It's over.
Yeah, it is over.
Yeah. Why am I going to go fight the next man?
Yeah, fired up in the heat of the moment.
No.
I can't remember ever. I actually don't remember ever being like wanting to fight a guy over a girl.
Yeah.
I remember one time a guy wanted to fight me over a girl, and he didn't. And she was holding him back, and she was small, and I was like, okay, if you wanted to fight, we would be fighting.
Yeah, if he wanted to fight.
I was sitting on the couch with my feet up on the table, and he came down like, what the hell? Like, he's like yelling, like trying to get at me, and she's just holding him back. And I was just like, what? And yeah, no fight happened.
Yeah.
So if a girl that's 110 to 115 pounds is holding you back, then you don't want to fight that much.
Exactly.
And shout out them. They're happy.
They're still together?
Live happily ever after.
Wow.
I didn't fuck her that day.
That day. Or at all.
No, there was times in history where I did. But I don't.
What he was upset
What he was upset about?
Yeah.
Wasn't a problem. Yeah. I'll shut up about that. I was hanging out with you in Black Zeus recently, and when I went back to my parking garage, so we were all downtown. We went out for these $100 sausages.
That's super gay.
It was expensive, yo. We got hot dogs that were fucking $50 because they were an animal that we don't normally eat. Like, that's what a business plan, yo. Go on Dragon's Den with that shit. I'm going to charge $50 for hot dogs. How are you going to get away with that? I'm going to say it's from a deer and also a wild boar. Okay. Sounds like people will fucking pay up then.
And duck fries.
Yeah. We'll fry it in duck fat for an extra $5. I don't know how much my beer was, but either way, I got a hot dog, fries that had like stuff on them. It wasn't like your average just bare naked fries. That and a beer, and it was like $50.
Yeah.
$50. Crazy.
Crazy.
It was called Worst.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Some German name.
When you pay that much for a hot dog, you feel worst. Anyways, we hung out, and I had paid for parking. at this little garage, and when I went back to get my car, $98 ticket.
What?
$98 ticket.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah, no, it's true. 98 fucking dollars.
For what?
Because I paid till 7. I got to my car probably at like 7:40, but he gave me the ticket at 7:11. No grace period?
I mean, you had 10 minutes grace period.
That's crazy. For $98, like, come on, yo. That has to be. Anyway, so I messaged them or whatever, emailed the company.
Send them a DM.
Trying to be like, yo, what the hell? I've been having bad luck lately. I had one time I was running late for work recently, like 3 weeks ago, I guess now. Mm-hmm. And I made a left turn. Wait, all of this is a joke.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, if you hear this, if we're using this in court, everything I say is silly on this episode, and I didn't mean any of it. But anyways, in this imaginary world, I was making a left turn where they had a sign that said no left turns, and there was a cop waiting there for me, and I got a ticket right away. I don't want to get points. I don't mind, like, I pay a ticket, but points is crazy.
Yeah.
Also, anyways, I was going to plead my case more, but this is all a joke anyways. But what I wanted to happen was go get an early resolution. Try and say, hey, I'll pay money, don't give me the points. But when I went to enter the ticket, it says that the ticket hasn't been registered. So I waited another day. Still not registered. I waited a week, still not registered. Now I've waited 2 weeks, and it's like, he told me if you don't like answer one of these things as like pay the fine, ask for early resolution. See, there's me not enunciating again. Ask for an early resolution or fucking going to court. But I can't make any of those selections if the thing online doesn't accept me.
Show up.
And he said if I don't do it within 15 days, then my license will be suspended.
Oh my goodness.
So now I'm like, do I call them and be like, hey, I'm trying to pay my ticket, or I'm trying to deal with this ticket thing, or
can't you take it to like City Hall or something like that?
But now I'm thinking, I'm like, if he just typed it in wrong, am I just off scot free? That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
If the ticket doesn't exist in the system, then how could they? But then what if it's like there's a red flag on my license or something?
How can it be if it's plugged in wrong?
I don't know. I need a cop. To answer my questions.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I will. Actually, I think I might know one cop. But I don't know if it's a Toronto cop. Anyways, you know any cops?
I know a few.
In Toronto?
No.
Fair. Because I feel like different regions have different rules, you know?
Yeah.
I hope, if you're listening to this, first of all, thanks for making it 36 minutes in. I hope if you're a fat person, you're going to lose lots of weight. And, if you know the answer to how to deal with these fucking tickets, let me know, because I don't want to get my license suspended. That would suck, you know?
Yeah.
Then it'll be a whole nother cost.
I was actually having a conversation with this guy one time. He wasn't a police officer, but basically he was saying that parking tickets only really affect the people with the least amount of money, because if you're rich enough, a $98 ticket doesn't mean anything to you, right? So he was saying like, a ticket should be like based off of how much money you make, so it's like fair across the board.
Okay, but the parking ticket I'm not that worried about. The one that's going to suspend my license is the one that I'm scared about.
I know, but either way, if you could just pay it off.
If you could pay it off, you don't even have to worry about the points and all that. But I worry. But I think everyone worries about points because it's annoying. Like rich people don't stay rich by fucking blowing their money all the time.
Yeah, but
the real rich people, they're not
that they're blowing their money off. But it's like the fine doesn't really matter to them because okay, I'll pay a $200 ticket. I don't even care. Yeah.
There's some people that are rich that'll just go to hotels and just smoke weed in there and just be like, yeah, I'll pay the fine, whatever.
Exactly.
Like it's better for them. I've been with guys that are like, I'd rather pay $500 to smoke in my room, and that's just it is what it is.
Yep.
Which is in my mind, as a poor man, a crazy thing to be like, I can just blow 500, but like there's some guys that is nothing to them. That's like
exactly. So then at what point, like the fine doesn't even really matter because it's like, okay, I have 500 right here. Yeah. Let me check my back pocket. Oh, here's 1,000. You know what? I'm going to do it 2 nights in a row.
Yeah. I wonder if they charge you if you have the hotel for 2 nights in a row, and they should only be able to charge you once for that. Because it's like you fucked up the room as much as you're going to fuck it up. Yeah. It's going to smell like weed. Don't charge me by the day. I smoked weed I
don't know. I'm not in that tax bracket. I don't know how these. I don't even smoke in hotel rooms.
I don't either. Not anymore. I think back in the day, maybe. Actually, nah, I never did. I don't like. Why do I care? No one. What am I? Do I have the cops fucking listening in at 40 minutes? I'm on the Uncut Jams to be like, oh, we got him now. That he fucking smoked weed in a hotel 20 years ago.
One hotel manager he's been hating for 20 years. He's just like, we got him. He slipped up.
Oh man. No, I don't think I've ever affected anyone's life that much to be fucking paying attention to my shit. I know there's like a couple people that listen to every episode and listen the whole time, and thanks guys. Appreciate you. And I know the ones that do tune in every week and they tune in this long, they're probably wondering, hey, what is going to be God's word of the day? And then we'll do the animal fun fact after. It's time for God's word of the day, where I turn to a random page in the Bible and find out what God has in store for us. And honestly, I feel like there's been a lot where it matches right up with what we were talking about in the episode, somehow, some way. We're going to Numbers 33. From Sinai to Kadesh. Setting out from the desert of Sinai, they camped at Kibro Hatava. Sorry to my Jewish people out there. I'm probably going to be pronouncing some of your words wrong here. Setting out from Kibroth Hatava, they camped at Hazeroth. Setting out from Hazeroth, they camped at Ritma. Setting out from Ritma, they camped at Rimmon Perez. Setting out, is this going to be the whole line? Setting out from Rimmon Perez, they camped at Libnah. Setting out from Libnah, they camped at Risha. Setting out from Rizah, they camped at Kahala. Guys, this is like 10 more lines of setting out somewhere and ending up somewhere else. And I think that the only thing that we can get from that is keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Keep it pushing.
Keep it moving. You set out from doing comedy to doing a podcast. You set out from doing a podcast to fucking recording a video of yourself smoking weed and drinking in the freezing rain. And I can't wait to see what we set out to next. Hopefully you guys are setting out from one thing to another today. And just fucking keep it moving. And we're going to keep it moving to our animal fun fact of the day.
Okay, today's animal fact is about raccoons.
All right.
In German, the name for a raccoon is Waschbär, meaning wash bear. The scientific name for the raccoon is Prosinlotor, meaning washing.
Wash bear, because what they do a lot of washing?
You ever seen the raccoons do the raccoon hands?
Oh, yeah.
I would think it has something to do with them washing.
So the raccoon's name in Germany is what?
Wash bear.
Wash bear. And the raccoon's name in Africa is Raccoonta Kente. That was the animal fun fact of the day. That was the episode.
Raccoonta Kente.
Tell your friends to tune in. We're gonna see me getting swole in the next 3 episodes, getting fucking chiseled. I don't know about chiseled, but I'm gonna put some muscle on.
Yeah.
And
Build some strength.
Build some strength, inside and outside. And yeah, guys, thanks for listening. Dante, where can people find you?
You can find me online at Shedante, CHEZDANTE. Follow your boy.
And you can find me at James. Come on now. That's it. Peace.
Out in the street, they call it
Uncut.
right.